Good evening, my fellow troglodytes, Neanderthals, all you hairy knuckle dragon apes, all you chicken littles, all you cavemen, all you boys crying wolf, everybody in the red pill manosphere, and to all the good faithful family. Welcome to the Good Faith Podcast, where we maneuver around toxic debauchery, attempting to find harmony with our fellow man and dissect society's caustic degeneracy. If it's a pre-apocalyptic dystopia that you seek, then look no further, because here it is. The great American empire is going to hell in a handbasket, and quickly, I might add. I'm your host, Ninjah Bullock. I understand you could have been a million other places, and the time is the most precious commodity any of us have. So from the bottom of my heart, I'd like to share my gratitude with you all. Viewer and listener discretion is advised. Due to the sensitive nature of some of our topics, we hope you will shield youngins from some of the vulgarity that may be spewed here. We're going to try and make it to 15 minutes before we start spewing that vulgarity so the algorithm doesn't punish us. We got whoredom for your boredom, though. We're going to talk about a whole lot of smut, so keep the kids at bay.
Logical. It's smut, Bill.
It must be noted that the views expressed by the panel are not necessarily the views of the Good Faith Podcast. We are no fiduciary. We assume no culpability of investment performance as a result of following our financial advice. Our simple aim is to entertain and inform. Anybody living in the greater Philadelphia area interested in making an appearance on our show can reach me in a DM on Facebook or Instagram at Christopher Bulick. See our Patreon link in the description if you'd like to make a campaign contribution to facilitate our meteoric rise. And I got a soundbite for that, too. I don't know where it is.
There it is! It's beautiful! Take your hat off, boy! That's a dollar bill!
I ain't trying to screw you. You ain't giving me no money. What am I getting out of this?
Nothing.
So why do I have to lie?
In all seriousness, times are tough. Any proceeds we receive will be going towards avoiding eviction, keeping the lights on. As you can see, my neon, I need to buy some duct tape or something. Maybe get some new, USB hubs so that way, the lights actually stay on. This whole thing is just haphazardly assembled with rubber bands and duct tape. So, I'm gonna encourage you to all donate me some money so I can feed my guests when they come in here, medicate my cat who has epilepsy and I need to give him phenobarbital 2 times a day, pay the rent, keep the lights on, and all that stuff. Once again, if you feel you've been given value by us, it takes basically no extra effort to like and subscribe, so please do. This is your notification that the Good Faith Podcast is now available not only on YouTube, but Twitch, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Patreon, Amazon Music, Samsung Podcasts, Listen Notes, iHeartRadio, Pandora, and RSS.com. We'll keep pushing out these episodes so long as our following stays growing. And the path to notoriety will be for our listeners to spread the good word of the pod. If you have somebody in mind who would agree with our content, if they might be informed, even if they want to ridicule us, send a link to your friends and family. All publicity is good publicity. Our objective is to have a balance between, certain perspectives where we try to avoid having an echo chamber. So if you have somebody in mind who enjoys listening to podcasts, please spread our channel. I really appreciate it. And I got news for y'all. We are officially monetized. That means that we got memberships, we got merch in the works. I haven't designed any merch yet, but I do plan to have t-shirts, hats, mugs, maybe mouse pads or whatever. And what else do we have? You could have paid super chats, but I try to give a voice to my listeners for free. So, but in perfect time for the holidays, if you don't know what to get a loved one for Christmas, why not give them a membership to the Good Faith Podcast? If you want to give the gift that keeps on giving, consider a membership to the Good Faith Podcast, where your fearless and thankless leader, me, is working tirelessly to return you guys value through exclusive content, sound advice, unique custom emojis, and listening and responding to all of your constructive and corrective feedback. So, without further ado, let's get this episode underway. And I think it's going to be a good episode. I honestly think we might have the 4 best dressed men in North America on this episode. We're going to tell you guys how to dress like a man, how to really step into your masculine energy and look good doing it, and smell good doing it. So the fragrance of the week is Deed King D white version. It's got notes of musk, ambergris, juniper berry, basil, citrus infusion, and peppermint. You know, because I'm trying to do all things Christmassy in the month of December, so I had to add that peppermint, smelling like a candy cane. Our candle of the week is pistachio macaron, and so everything I'm gonna be doing this month, I'm gonna be smelling like an evergreen tree, or smelling like a candy cane, or like dressed up like a Santa Claus, or whatever I can do, because I'm in the holiday spirit. This is my favorite time of the year. Shirt of the week is Ralph Lauren green. Slacks of the week Calvin Klein. Shoes of the week Alfani. Vest of the week Pronto Uomo. And the movie / TV show of the week is It Chapter 2 and Welcome to Derry. And I honestly can't wait until this episode's over so I can go check out the new episode of Welcome to Derry. I was never even the biggest Pennywise fan, but honestly, I think this show is great. It's better than Stranger Things. It's better than all that stuff. So you guys got to check out It Chapter 2 and Welcome to Derry. And now, at this time, I'm going to bring on my guests. Yo, what's up, guys? I got Calvin, Keith, and Vaughn. How are you guys doing tonight?
Lovely.
All right, so
Good dream.
so where are all you guys calling from?
I'm from South Carolina.
Is that where
Columbia,
okay.
Columbia specifically.
Is that where you live? You live now?
Yeah, that's what I call home base, man.
All right. And Keith is Alberta, right?
Yeah, Calgary, Alberta,
Calgary,
Canada,
Alberta.
The British Empire.
All right. And then Calvin is would you say close to Annapolis, Maryland, or?
So I'm close. I'm 45 minutes from DC. So I'm in Bushwood, Maryland.
Okay.
To be specific.
All right. And at this time, would you guys please introduce yourself by your name, your age, your occupation, and your highest level of education completed?
I guess I'll start. So, formal name is Vaughn Granger. I'm 43 years old. I run multiple men's clothing stores, and then I fly around working with individual clients, helping build their wardrobe and their style, in addition to coaching men either in their businesses or life in general. And highest level education is graduated from the University of South Carolina with a bachelor's degree.
Okay. Degree in what? What was your major?
Marketing and management.
Okay. And if I wanted to get a little bit of free advice on my wardrobe right now, what would you give me? Keep in mind I got all this stuff from the department store and stuff like that. So none of it's custom tailored or anything like that.
I think if I had to give one piece of advice for any guy out there, man, you gotta own what you're wearing, right? Mm-hmm. So you see guys walking around that the clothes are wearing them, which is always a shitty algorithm. No, you gotta have the confidence in your clothes, right? And so you're dressing in holiday festive, if you want,
yeah.
and you're wearing it. It's not wearing you. So that's the number one thing, and you're crushing that. So kudos.
All right. And Keith, you want to go next?
Yeah, so Keith McRae, that's a Scottish last name. Instagram, Keith McRae, that's Keith Mike Charlie Romeo Alpha Echo _ Keith McRae _ I am old enough to know better. And what else did you ask? Highest education?
Highest level of education and occupation.
Yes. Highest level of education was at university. some trade school. Technically, by trade, I'm a TV engineer, but I'm mostly in sales these days.
Okay. And what degree is that? Is that like a bachelor's or an equivalent of a bachelor's degree or something like that?
That's a master's in computer science, although it's grossly out of date right now
Yeah.
because this was done when COBOL was still a thing.
Okay. Gotcha. And what would your criticism of my attire be? I know you always got, and actually you were the first one who told me about what is this called, like a Oxford collar when it's got these little buttons in here.
Yes.
Yeah, you were the one who first told me I'm not supposed to wear a tie, so I shouldn't be like giving myself away. But I
Is
didn't
it
button
Oxford
it.
collar?
Yeah,
Oh, you
yeah,
did?
I just didn't button it. Yeah, yeah,
Good, good. Because you can't tell on camera, but
yeah.
if
Yeah.
that was buttoned with a tie, I would be calling you out on that.
Okay, yeah.
Because they were originally designed to play polo and just to stop the collars from flapping around. So when you're playing horse polo, you're not about to be wearing ties. The mint green, it just might be the lighting. It looks a very, very unusual shade of green.
Mm-hmm.
It could just be the lighting. Maybe it's better in the sunlight. But if it is the actual color, that wouldn't be my first choice. But hey, it's a shirt, so a shirt's better than no shirt.
Yeah.
You probably could get it nipped and tucked at a local seamstress just to bring in bring in the back, put some darts in, bring in the sleeves, and just reduce the bagginess of it somewhat. But
Yeah.
I think good effort.
All right. And Calvin, would you tell us your name, age, occupation, and highest level of education completed?
All right. My name is Calvin Baldwin. I'm 41 years old. I work as a security professional with a security company. And my highest education is associate arts in information systems with a concentration in homeland security.
Okay. Do you I know because my biggest holding in my entire portfolio is Lockheed Martin. Have you ever been to Bethesda?
Once, because the first company I actually worked for was Ammo Security, so they're based in Bethesda.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been out there to their headquarters.
Okay. I actually ran into a dude. I was at the bar last night. I ran into this dude who is like a mechanic on helicopters, and he was for like civilian use and stuff like that. But I have like a great fascination with our military because our military is like the reason that we're so free because they keep us safe. So
Agreed.
yeah. And guys, I'm your host. I'm Ninja Bullock. I'm 34. I wear many hats, but my number one 9 to 5 is I'm a life skills coach. And I only have an associate's degree in liberal arts, so I'm like the least educated here. And you could probably tell by listening to me talk, because sometimes I can be a little bit, a little bit ignorant. Would you guys tell me your relationship status and the duration of your longest relationship?
Married for 20 years.
Congratulations.
Shit ain't easy.
Do you want to tell us how you proposed and how you got married?
Let's see. I proposed at a Mexican restaurant.
Okay.
And we had a kind of medium-sized wedding. You know, I got married when I was 22.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, we were young bucks, man. We were kids.
Yeah. But yeah, well, like, do you subscribe to the advice that like the engagement ring has to be like, I don't know what they say, like 1/6 of your annual salary or something like that?
No, I'm very much, you know, like my wife's engagement ring was my grandmother's that she left me. Okay. So, you know, I think at the end of the day, you know, you need to know who you're marrying and what's meaningful for them and do that. But if I have to live by somebody else's standards of what I should spend on a ring, well, I'm not very strong in my beliefs, which is a sign of weakness.
Exactly.
Now, if I want to do that, then I would have done it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't believe in that, which I believe was like a marketing campaign by De Beers Jewelers, and they just wanted people to start spending more money on engagement rings, but it's a load of horse shit, is what I think.
Agreed.
Keith, longest relationship and your relationship status?
Relationship status is it's complicated. Longest relationship was a matter of some years because, unfortunately, I was married. And as we know, the biggest cause of divorce in the Western world is, of course, marriage.
Yeah. All right. And Calvin.
I'm currently single, and my longest lasting relationship was a year and a half.
FLT9R said, "Hi there."
Who's that? Hi. Thank you for joining us. Sorry, I'm looking up who that was. Oh, hi, Mom. And guys, I'm single, and my longest relationship was about 3 years. And would you guys tell me your spiritual beliefs? It could be Christian, Jewish, Muslim, Hindu, Buddhist, atheist, agnostic, Scientologist. I'm trying to think of other religions. What else it could be?
Taoist.
What did you say?
Taoist.
Taoist. I've had like what's that Viking religion? Like I've had pagans and stuff like that on people who praised like Zeus or praised
Witchcraft.
Odin. Yeah, there's witchcraft. I guess I would consider myself a non-denominational Christian, but I kind of lean towards Baptist, I guess.
I'm a Christian.
Okay.
What flavor?
I'm Presbyterian, Reformed Presbyterian.
So that means you were a bad person before because you're Reformed?
It just, however you want to take it. Yeah, I try not to get caught up too much in the denominations. At the end of the day, I believe that, Jesus died on the cross for my sins, and a lot of the denomination stuff turns into political bullshit and stands in the way of having an actual relationship with God. So I try not to pay too much attention to that shit.
Mm-hmm. Keith?
I'm a Satanist.
No, are you really?
No.
Okay, good. I was gonna give you the boot button.
I'm gonna start getting out my pentagrams and my black candles, right? I would say agnostic, which is I don't know. I'm more of the some people call it in the atheistic. I'm definitely not an atheist because there's not enough data to determine that with absolute certainty. But there's some people out there that use what's called the Q model. So I'm of the belief that if there is a superior entity somewhere in the galaxy or universe, then by definition, it is a highly powerful alien or singular alien. Because when you think about it, God or the gods are by definition aliens because they're not of this world.
Yeah.
So if God does exist, if it's some type of entity, then by definition, highly technologically advanced alien, much like the Q character from Star Trek.
Okay. Well, I mean, I also definitionally agree. Like God was not born on Earth, so he is definitionally an alien.
Is he illegal?
I don't. He's so powerful that it doesn't matter. Like if anyone tells him no, then he's just gonna like strike him down with lightning.
He doesn't need a visa.
Nah. And Calvin, what is your religious denomination?
So I'm agnostic because I'm just not sure what's out there, up there, wherever you want to point it towards. So who knows?
Okay.
What about down there?
Hey, he could be down there too.
Well, like So like I feel like Satanism, and I actually do intend to read. I do intend to read the Satanist. Is it called the Satanist Bible or whatever? Because I just one thing I like about Michael Sartain is he knows thy enemy really well. So Michael Sartain read Mein Kampf. He read the Communist Manifesto. He reads all of these like literatures that he kind of just doesn't even agree with, and I would like to read the Satanist Bible so that way if I ever get stuck in a conversation with a bloody Satanist, I can at least like make them look stupid, because I do believe the core tenet of Satanism is not actually a worship of like the devil, but it's a worship of oneself, which I think is like a big problem in society. Is everybody is just looking out for themselves, just trying to serve themselves, whereas Christianity it is all about serving others, and I like that better.
I've read about a third of it. You're not missing anything. Essentially, the TLDR of the Satanic Bible, and apparently there's several. There's the Church of Satan, led by Anton LaVey. There's a few different versions of the Satanic Bible. Most of them are just hedonistic piffle. But the official one, in air quotes, really not missing anything. The TLDR, as the kids say, too long didn't read, would be the Satanic Bible is essentially do what you like as long as you don't hurt anybody else. That's essentially what it says.
Yeah, and I'm just, call me a busybody or whatever, but I like to like stick my nose into other people's business to an extent, like if truly people are not hurting anyone, including themselves, then I'm fine with it. But I do think that like certain things like transitioning the genders of children, or mutilating your own body, or having like eating disorders, or drug use, or morbid obesity. I think all of these things, they are hurting people, and I think that we should do our best to eradicate the world of these issues.
Agreed.
So, Chris, when you stick your nose in to other people's business, do you like to have a good sniff?
Yeah, like I just like to. I like to preach from my spiritual hilltop, and I hide behind this cross to do it, So this, I'm hoping maybe you guys can like bear with me for this one. But one of my favorite activities, besides sticking my nose into other people's business, is to like facetiously and sarcastically ridicule characters in literature and pop culture that don't necessarily deserve it. I just find it like funny to like joke around about it. So, are there any Christmas movies or Christmas songs that like you guys just don't like for one reason or another?
I'm tired of all of them.
No, are you a Grinch?
No, well, the Christmas songs, right? When you worked retail for years, you tend to despise. And I think Vaughn, if
Oh my God, you're
he
100%.
has to play the Christmas music, and he's probably as sick of them as I am.
No, it's the fucking worst. Like I the only Christmas music I like is jazz instrumental only, because I'm so sick of all the words on traditional Christmas songs.
Exactly.
So you like Kenny G Christmas?
That isn't jazz. Kenny G is not jazz.
No.
That's jazz when you play it to people when they're dying.
Yeah. Oh.
I'm gonna have to go with that Mariah Carey song.
Everybody hates that one, yeah.
Oh my gosh, it just makes me feel like gooey inside. And, and being red pill, like it's just the shittiest feeling.
I bet Mariah Carey is going to be feeling gooey inside this Christmas.
For sure.
What about?
Great filling.
So like I'll give you some examples. See if I can get you guys thinking like I'm thinking. Like, all right, so I was listening to like You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch, and I want to take a look at this motherfucker that's like talking all this cash shit to the Grinch. Like, I'll bet you he's no prize pig. I'll bet you he's like probably this like 59-year-old like ugly fat fuck with a snaggletooth, and he's like going on this 3-minute diss track of the Grinch. Like, yo, the Grinch got bitches, dude. The Grinch got Cindy, like little Cindy Lou Who was like in love with the Grinch, and Martha Lou Who or whatever the fuck, like all the bitches in Whoville wanted the Grinch. So who's this guy to like talk shit on him? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I didn't know the Grinch was a player like that.
Yeah, the Grinch got some bitches. Like, he wasn't a nice guy, and women hate nice guys. Like, so.
Well, it's his long, slender fingers.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Yeah, he has.
And it's his green fur, right?
Yeah.
It kind of matches your shirt, Chris.
Yeah.
Like, it's just something attractive about ugly.
And he's got like that like rugged masculinity, got the hairy chest and shit like that. Like, I actually,
And he's green.
I wanna look up the dude who sang that song so I could like roast him.
Actually, that was the Grinch Who Stole Christmas is the worst movie of the season.
Are you?
Is that the Jim Carrey one? Has there been more than one?
Well, you had the animated version, then you had the one with Jim Carrey. Both of which I'm like, dude, the Grinch is just creepy.
And that's it, isn't it? There's been no other film adaptation of The Grinch, correct?
No, not that I'm aware of.
But Jim Carrey is very watchable.
Yeah.
He's Canadian. He's from the British Empire.
Dude, what's it?
Jim Carrey?
Jim Carrey's from Canada.
Okay, just make sure.
Yo. This motherfucker's name is Thurl Ravenscroft. Let me get it. If you look like that, shut your fucking mouth, dude. Like, you got no fucking business to like talk shit on anybody. You know what I mean? You should just stand in the back of the room and keep your lip zipped, dude. You know what I mean? Like, the Grinch is much more of a fucking looker than that dude is.
Looks like Colonel Sanders.
Yeah.
It's just jealous.
He says
He's just jealous.
his finger looking good.
He's just jealous that he doesn't got no bitches, so he had to make a song like that. Does anyone have any other characters of movies or musicians that made Christmas songs unbearable?
I don't know. I think just the repetition, like Vaughn says, when you've heard them all, you don't really want to hear them ever again. But I'm in agreement with Vaughn. When they're jazz versions and they're nice jazz versions, since there's no words, it just kind of washes over you, and it's a lot more pleasant, especially if it's good jazz.
Yeah.
You guys don't like the Rat Pack, like Frank Sinatra,
Well, the Rat Pack is
Dean
fantastic.
Martin?
Yeah.
I listen to Rat Pack jazz, Christmas music. Sure.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Rat Pack. Some of the three of the most talented singers ever to have lived, and they're all over Vegas. So I'm huge into
Doug
vocal
Momo
jazz.
said,
So.
hi.
Yo, what's up? Who was that? That was What's up, Doug Momo? How you doing? Yeah. I like the Rat Pack. I like I love Christmas music. I love Christmas everything. So maybe I'm just like abnormal in liking that stuff. But and I'm weird. Another one that I was gonna bring up is like grandma. Like, grandma was inebriated on Christmas Eve, probably jaywalking. Like, Santa's got a job to do, and like grandma's getting in his way, and like now Santa has to live with like killing somebody's grandma on Christmas Eve. Like, that's the last thing he needs.
Oh, the best Christmas movie, of course. The best Christmas film is, of course, Die Hard.
Yeah. I stand by Die Hard's a Christmas movie. Yeah.
As what did it was John McClane saying when he pushed was it Alan Rickman, I think it was, off the Nakatomi Plaza, yippee-ki-yay motherfathers.
Yeah.
Or did he just say that in general? I think he just said that in general.
Yeah, that was like his punchline of every movie.
I forgot that was a Christmas movie.
Yeah. Also, a Christmas movie that takes place in my home city is Trading Places with Eddie Murphy and who's it? Dan Aykroyd.
Oh, that is a Christmas movie.
Yeah. That's a Christmas. I just remembered that that's a Christmas
At
movie.
Karen Gonzalez said, "Look at all these sexy gentlemen.
Yo, what's up,
Who
Kareem?
needs OnlyFans when you have the Good Faith podcast."
Facts. Guys,
Is that Kareem, our honorary Englishman?
yeah, that's Kareem, Oxford professor, and a fellow gentleman of high status and
Yes.
high style.
I have a man crush on that guy. He must have a brain the size of a planet, that man.
Yeah.
I think they must have put extra brains in his head when he was at university.
Yeah, he's a good one, and yeah, my last example is We Wish You a Merry Christmas, people. They're rude as fuck. They're like, now bring us some figgy pudding. Now bring us some figgy pudding. Now bring us some figgy pudding. Bring it right here. They don't fucking ever say please. They don't ever say thank you. They just expect you to like bring them some fucking figgy pudding. Why? Because they're on my porch step like caroling. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Kind of demanding, aren't they?
Yeah.
But what even is figgy pudding? I want to know what it is, and I would like to try it.
I think it's like close to like a tapioca pudding or
Oh, I like that.
like a vanilla pudding
Okay.
kind of. Yeah.
Who doesn't love pudding? But delivered by a very insistent carolers
Yeah.
demanding figgy pudding. No, that's no.
I think that's probably one of the biggest rubs about Christmas, right? People feel entitled that you need to give them a fucking gift, right?
Yeah.
It's like, or either really shitty gift givers that you're like, dude, you're supposed to know me. Like, you know what I like. Like, give me the right shit, or like, put in some fucking effort. But that, demanding, incessant, yeah, that's about right for Christmas time.
What's you're a married man. I don't want to get you in trouble, so I'll ask for what's the best gift your wife ever got you for like a birthday or a holiday?
Typically they're like experiences. So, whether it's cool concert tickets or, like my birthday was last month, so we've got a really cool comedy show that we're going to. Actually, probably the coolest one is I forget the name of the club, but there's a place in New York. It's like a basement comedy show, and you never know who's going to be on there.
Mm-hmm.
But she gave me that one time, and that was dope. We had some killer guys or comedians up there, but I just like experiences. Go out, have fun, get dressed up, have a good time, laugh, whatever. But those are typically the best. I don't, when I want something, I buy it, so I'm hard to shop for.
Mm-hmm.
But any kind of gift, whether it's for my wife or anybody else, is like it shows that they know you, right?
Yeah.
And that's the shit I like. Don't buy me generic shit.
Yeah. Keith and Calvin, since you are not beholden to any lady, what's the worst gift that a bitch ever got you?
Man,
I'll let Calvin go first.
that's a tough one for me. I mean, I can think of good ones. Like good one for me. I usually tell people in passing, like, hey, whether it's a girlfriend or
At
a
Doug
good
Lomo
friend.
said, "Nothing."
Nothing. Yeah, that is the ultimate bad gift. Yeah.
I mean, whether it's a friend or a girlfriend, I usually tell them like, hey, I'm a big fan of Oreo ice cream cake, and so the coolest thing for me is when they adhere to that. They hear, okay, oh, he likes ice cream cake. So on the day of my birthday, they buy the ice cream cake. It's like, oh shit, okay, you listen.
See, I'm actually the opposite of you. I've been given like baked goods by like at least 2 or 3 different girlfriends on Christmas, and I think that's a low effort gift. Like, I want to unwrap something. Like, give me a fucking real present, not just something that your mom or your grandma baked and you're just giving it to me. Or even if like I like cookies. I think cookies is the most like disrespectful gift if that's the only thing that she's given me.
Now, if she did bake it and just bought it, or baked it and just gave it to you?
Just
Malcolm
I want.
said, you want a nice peaceful Christmas day, buy the lady in your life a vacuum cleaner.
I did. Yeah.
That's not the only thing that's gonna suck.
Jeez.
Yeah, but like I've given women jewelry on Christmas. I've given women like clothing on Christmas. I've given women gift cards to their favorite clothing store and stuff. And then they're like, here you go, and they just give me this like tin of cookies. Like, yo, this is an F. You get an F. And then you gotta pretend like you're overjoyed. You gotta like put on this act oh, how did you know? I love these cookies. These are the best cookies ever. Like, thank you so much. Like, nah, I wanna just fucking let her know that she failed.
Have you ever did that?
What? Been real?
Just been really honest with them? Well,
No.
At least one of your girlfriends?
Of like, definitely not like about like a gift that I've gotten. I've never been honest like that. I'll be honest on like other days of the year, but I'm not gonna ruin someone's Christmas, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Keith, have you ever had a bad Christmas present from a lady?
Well, I suppose if a Christmas present can include waking up on Christmas Day and she's still around, then yes. To be serious for a second, though, I wouldn't say I really want anything from the lady of the manor, because I'm somewhat of a minimalist, and really I have everything that I want. I don't really need anything. I've got everything I could ever want. I'm not big into material possessions. I don't really need much. I operate an extremely small capsule wardrobe. The only thing I do collect is cars, but that's a weakness. But no, I wouldn't want a gift from the lady of the manor, so to speak, because I've got everything. And just anything that she could buy, to me, is just an additional object that I have to worry about storing away or in the house or what have you. My family kind of jokes that I won't be happy until I live in a big condo painted all white with a mattress on the floor, a 100-inch television, and one chair and one table in the kitchen. And that's more or less it. Because I've moved so many times that moving all your stuff every single time.
It's the worst.
It's the worst. So every time you move, you become less and less. You take less and less with you.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I definitely like the easiest thing to move is cash. Like, yes. Cash doesn't weigh you down. So I'm the older I get, the more of a minimalist I'm becoming. Like, as you can see in the background, I got like the bookshelf. Like, I threw out half my books. I'm never gonna read these books. There's audiobooks now. I can just listen to audiobooks. I don't need all this stuff, So I definitely want to become more of a minimalist. I'll take my I'll take my paintings. I'll take my my clothing. I'll take some of my electronics. That's all I really need.
That's all you really need, Chris. I have a theory in that, and maybe this doesn't work for other people, but I believe that the less you have, the happier you are. And the less things you have to worry about in one's household. So I got rid of over 300 CDs years ago. Like you, I got rid of most of my books, and I repurchased them on Kindle, and now I have them on that small device that you can read anywhere. I kind of firmly believe that the more things you have in your home that's in your vision, it's just more mental clutter.
Yeah.
So I'm the type of guy that will have 4 forks, 4 spoons, 4 mugs, 4 plates. How many does one man need? That's the thing. So I think the less you have, I think mentally the more clarity you get.
Yeah.
Well, to your point, Keith, I think the more you have, the more you have to take care of, right? Well, oftentimes you become a slave to your possessions.
Yep.
100%.
And there's a lot to be said. I forget the name of the book. Um, it's something about vagabonding. And I read it. It was, it was talking a lot about minimalism and condensing down to something lightweight that moves around with you. But, it allows for you to be more spontaneous, more adventuresome. You talk about cash. I mean, think about all the bullshit that people buy. What was it, Fight Club? Edward Norton's buying like the rooms to go set or whatever, and it's like shit he didn't even care about. And it's like, dude, forget about that. If it doesn't bring me joy, and if it's not a necessity to live, like, what's the point?
Yeah.
Indeed, indeed, exactly, Vaughn. And as far as the Fight Club, I believe there was a line in that movie, people buying things that they don't need to impress people
That they don't like.
don't even like, that they'll never see again.
Yep.
So why? I mean, of course, ladies are the biggest, maybe not the biggest, maybe that might be a little generalist, but some of the biggest offenders of this. How many pairs of shoes does one woman need? How many pairs of shoes does a man need, for that matter? I mean, look at Imelda Marcos. I think she had thousands of pairs of shoes, and she wasn't happy.
Yeah.
But it's like cars, right? Like, you can only drive one car at a time. You can only wear one watch at a time. Anytime I've had more than two vehicles that belong to me, I ended up getting pissed off because one was never getting used. I can only use about two vehicles at a time. Beyond that, I'm like, yeah, you got to maintain it, you got to pay for it, all that other bullshit. It's a waste.
Guilty as charged. Guilty as charged, Vaughn. I have 4 vehicles, and it's the only bad habit I have. I collect vintage cars, restore them, and then flip them, and it's cheaper than marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got three cars myself.
Jesus.
One's I have well, actually 2 are disabled. No, actually I'm lying. One is disabled, so that needs a new engine. So I'm going to end up getting rid of that one. So just gonna stick with 2.
Two of your cars have autism?
No.
I am. I guess I'm the only. I'm the only one on this panel who's automotively monogamous. I'm a 1-car man as of right now. If I had more money, I would definitely. I'd like to get a Mustang. I think a Mustang is going to be the next car I get. But
What year?
I'm thinking like 2000 and like around 2012, 2013, something like that. Yeah, I think you can get like a good Mustang for like, I don't know, 6,000 to 8,000.
I collect ex-wives. Does that count?
Ex-wives.
Very expensive.
They are very expensive. Yeah, very expensive, and I would rather a car that you can ride rather than an ex-wife that you can't ride. I suppose an ex-wife that you can ride, I would be collecting those too. But, typically that's frowned upon, is fraternizing with your ex-wife.
Especially after she takes half of what you got.
Yeah.
Like, there's a little bit of resentment there, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I've been here. So, Chris, there is that viewer mentioned marriage, collecting ex-wives.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the old phrase? There's 2 phrases to the marriage: marry in haste, repent at leisure. And then men marry women hoping they won't change, but they do.
Yeah.
And women marry men hoping they will change, but they don't.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, that reminds me of the other saying that I don't know why, but men fall in love with what they see, so women wear makeup. Women fall in love with what they hear, so men lie.
Well, there's an old non-joke about that. The joke goes, why do women wear makeup and perfume?
Why? Because
they're ugly and they smell.
So y'all want some jokes? I got some Christmas jokes. What do the female reindeer do while the male reindeer are helping Santa on Christmas Eve? They head into town and blow a couple bucks.
That's a dad joke. Why is Santa miserable?
Why?
because he only comes once a year.
Yeah, okay.
Oh.
How does Santa even get around? This is my favorite one. How does Santa get all around the world on Christmas Eve? Like, how does he do it?
Rick Mallon said, "Dad jokes."
How does
I don't know. How does he get down the chimney with such a big sack? Especially coming once a year.
he must have like a couple of side bitches and mistresses around the world, but how does Santa complete his task every Christmas Eve?
Apparently, he's supposed to travel at light speed according to the magic lore.
And he also skips all the poor kids.
Yes. And no, I'm not going to say it.
Keith is filtering his own thoughts.
So, real quick, speaking of emptying your sack, wait, I'm gonna run an ad really quick, and then we can get back to the dad jokes. So, guys, speaking of emptying your sack, and why isn't this coming up?
That's what Mrs. Claus said.
Oh my God. So I don't know what's going on, but my QR code and my logo are not showing up. Probably because I moved them around into whatever. All right, fellas. It's time we talk about a pressing issue. We all know that as men, it is our duty to perform, whether it's at the trading desk, on the gridiron, the hardwood court, or inside the illustrious bedroom. There's no description that does justice to the confidence boost that you'll receive when you blow her back off. So how are you going to do it? With a limp strand of rope? Do you want to be the Red Ryder BB gun that she's, had her heart and her eyes set on all year? You want her to like unwrap your member and, be overjoyed, like whatever the kid in the Christmas Carol's name is. I forget his name. Do you want to be the safe option? Do you want to be that like cardigan sweater that you get from your grandma? Like you have to feign. Do you want her to be like feigning interest and feigning enthusiasm? No, you want to be the bad boy. You want her to settle down with you after she's had her fun in the big leagues? No. So why are you going to battle in the bedroom with groggy privates? The only blue pill we endorse at the Good Faith Podcast is It's Mr. Nasty Time Blue Pills. And yes, we're talking about those little pills that make you run, Forrest, run. Get the enthusiasm that Jenny has for that gang of Black Panthers and Wall Street stockbrokers. Not the tepid tolerance that she has for Forrest. Don't you want her, like, her mouth and her tongue to be, like, glued on your pole like the kid in the Christmas movie or whatever? You know what I'm talking about? Ralphie, I think that's his name. Forget about overpriced Hims, Romans, and Blue Chews. It's Mr. Nasty Time as the real deal at an amazing price that won't let you down and can't be beat. And I know what you're probably thinking. What if she cancels on me and I'm all bricked up in my trousers all night long? I've tried these. They're a lot more mellow than you'd expect. You can like have one at the very beginning of the night. It's not going to give away your position. Or due to the quick acting effect, just go to the bathroom right before magic time and you'll be fully equipped to perform. Just like all the expensive name brands, Mr. Nasty delivers his products in discreet packaging, but for a fraction of the outrageous cost that the other guys do. Around here at the GFP, we're about leveling up, and why not level up your sex life and check out It's Mr. Nasty Time to get your mojo back. Scan the QR code on the screen or hit the link in the description and guarantee yourself unrivaled pleasure. When her dual mating strategy has her playing picky-choosy between the bad boy and the little nice guy, you know exactly who to call. Mr. Nasty Time. All right, we are back, guys. So,
Oh, I've got jokes about the blue pills.
Oh shit. Okay. All right. I got some too, I think.
So I tried those blue pills, and they didn't work for me. I couldn't get them down the end properly.
Okay.
And then the other joke is with those blue pills, you have to swallow them quickly, or else you get a stiff neck.
All right. So what happened when the Grinch took a few of Mr. Nasty Time's pills?
Oh, his little green digit must have risen to the occasion, like raising the Titanic.
His penis grew 3 sizes that day.
To 3 millimeters. But it's 6 inches wide. They call him Stumpy.
Yo, it's not about the motion of the ocean. It's about the girth of the earth.
Exactly. There's a saying about that. Long and thin, too far in. Short and thick does the trick.
Um, I'm feeling like personally targeted by these jokes, so we're gonna have to. um, so speaking of going back to like talking about faith and stuff like that, do you guys think that the religion of Islam is compatible with America or North America?
God no.
Yeah.
No.
Vaughn, no. Calvin,
No.
no. Yeah, everyone says no. Why? Like, why do you guys think that way?
How long do you have?
We got we got another hour podcast, so go off if you want to.
Shall I start?
Lead the way.
The floor is yours.
Okay. I mean, look, Islam as a certain flavor of mythology, and I shall preface that with saying that I believe that all religions are essentially mythologies. They're mythology stories. They're all approaches to understanding the human condition done through various stories that are inherently unprovable, and they're all about. I, I would say they all have about as much scientific validity as the other. So Islam has about as much scientific validity as Satanism, as Satanism does have to Christianity, as pantheism, the Greek system, the Roman system. They all haven't been able to come up with any concrete data to prove supernatural entities. Of course, absence of proof doesn't mean proof of absence. But I will say that Islam, as far as a religion, sure, it's as valid as the next one. However, Islam is by definition, and if any of you have read the Quran, I've read an English adaptation. Essentially is a theology of conquest. It's a theology of domination. It's a theology of warfare. And maybe that works for them, I don't know, but I don't believe it works for a cohesive egalitarian society where women can have free choice and freedom of movement. I'm not saying that it's an invalid way of approaching religion. If you're Muslim and that's the way you like doing things, well, good for you. Personally, I find most, if not all, religions faintly ridiculous because as I said earlier, I am an agnostic, which means I don't know. I don't have enough data to support one thing over another. I believe that God is most likely, if he or she exists, then of course it is some kind of advanced alien life form. That's the only scientific approach for my liking. So Islam, Allah, call it what you will, it's not compatible with I believe. And to get back to the central question, Chris, the US is a constitutional republic. It was designed by the founding fathers, where we have Jefferson, Washington, all the rest of the guys, on strict freedoms, God-given freedoms, if you want to call it that. And since Islam is a theocracy at heart, it's ultimately incompatible with how a constitutional republic works. So that's more or less all I can say about it.
Okay. You reminded me of another dad joke I have. What's the difference between a Muslim and a vampire?
No idea.
After enough time, a vampire eventually stops being bloodthirsty. But yeah, like and recently some data came out because I just discovered that Minnesota is the only state in the United States of America that has never, I think like since like the Civil War, Minnesota has never voted Republican. Never since the Civil War. And now Minnesota is officially has the second largest Somalian population in the entire world, behind only Somalia. So like Minnesota is basically just like little Somalia at this point. And do you guys think that like Somalians should just be able to come to this country and be in our Congress and infiltrate our shit? Like all they're like embezzling all this money that's supposed to be going towards like charitable like fundraisers and stuff like that, and they're just like just Minnesota is a mess right now, I think.
Well, if you got rid of, if you made it a constitutional amendment that all voting must be done by paper, and that all voting must have a fingerprint on it, like they do in France, I think you would find that Minnesota voting patterns would change overnight. Because if France can do it, then why can't the US do it? It's about time we got rid of any electronic voting. Maybe have machine voting just for sheer speed, but I believe that all voting must be done by hand as a final tally. That's the way they do it in France, that's the way they do it in many democratic countries around the world, and it removes any questions of chicanery, put it that way. Because if you involve any amount of technology, especially involving software, there's always the element that it can be compromised. So I think that's not a non-starter when it comes to elections.
Well, it's interesting. I've got a good friend of mine that's FBI hostage negotiator. And, he and I were talking, when they have calls, like video calls or whatever, they have one computer that was built by the US government, right? Because anything like in China, they by law have to have a back door in their products. And so you think about, like, to your point, Keith, like, if you're using technology to vote, it can be hacked, it can be manipulated, it can be filtered. And it's just like, you can't keep the integrity of the process. Like, the process has got to be simple, straightforward, which is damn near impossible, because even if you go completely manual, you're still trusting hands, to touch it, human hands. And there's just people that have personal agendas. I mean, so I don't know the answer to it, but it definitely is far from a perfect cohesive system that is impenetrable to edit and audit.
Yeah, and that's and to what Vaughn just touched on, really we could expand that to include things like making a constitutional amendment to go on the electoral register. I think that's what you guys call it over here, the electoral register, the electoral roll. To get on that roll, to register, you must prove that you're a US citizen. And then to vote in person, you must vote in person by law, on the day of, or advanced voting, and maybe you could have postal votes for things like US forces overseas, or if you're disabled or old, but all votes somehow must be corroborated with ID, and any ID that is given to somebody that requests it, say such as a driving license, I believe only driving licenses in the US should be given to US citizens. And you could compromise and say, well, if you want a driving license and you kind of live, maybe you're an actor, an English actor, and you live in the US a lot of the time, you can get a driving license, but there will be some kind of demarcation or mark on the driving license that says not a US citizen. So we could do it that way. So you can either produce your passport or your birth certificate or your driving license, which could say a US citizen on the driving license when you vote in person. And to those people that screech to high heaven that apparently it's some type of discrimination or terrible to XYZ demographic group to demand that ID be sought or ID be applied for, like they say, well, not a lot of people of XYZ demographic in the US are able to get a passport, or they don't have money to get a passport, or I think that's insulting towards certain demographic groups to say that they're not smart enough to get themselves a passport or a driving license with US citizen on it. I'm sure there's solutions, but of course they won't do it because, well, we all know why.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, you got to pay to play, right? So if, in my opinion, if you don't play by the tax rules of America because you're not here legally, well then you sure shit don't have a say in the government and who's running or acting as the players. And like that should be a no-brainer. I don't see how anyone can argue that for even a half a fucking second.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and even Vaughn, the pay to play angle. There's certain parties out there in the US. I think it's obvious which one it is, that screeches bloody blue murder about certain demographics being disadvantaged in getting ID or passports or what have you. And that's a separate issue. That relatively few US citizens have passports, which I think is kind of a shame. But even if certain politicians, shall we say,
Patrick
well,
Mellon said,
it's
if the USA
discriminatory.
requires a valid ID, my dead grandfather won't be able to vote anymore.
Yeah, dead people voting. There you go. That's in favor of one of the parties that shall remain nameless. But even if they do shout from the rooftops bloody blue murder about some demographics, oh well, they can't afford to apply for a passport. Well, just issue an executive order for say 2 years that passports are half price or quarter price or I don't know, free, so everybody can get one. So really, there's no excuse.
Calvin, what's your thoughts?
I just believe that as long as you're a citizen of the country, I mean, hey, you're free to do what you need to do to make sure this country is great.
And I like you guys can feel free to omit what your opinion is, but who did you guys vote for and why? I'll start with you, Calvin. And you can say like you can plead the fifth if you want to.
I vote for Trump.
Okay. And why? How come?
Well, for me, my personal opinion just seems to emit, even though he could be brash and what's the word I'm looking for?
Insensitive and unkind. Yeah.
We need that, and to me that he personifies toxic masculinity in today's world. So I mean, when we had, and I think personally we had enough with the sensitivity and just the simping of liberals, and we just become too sensitive, and so we just need to toughen up.
Yeah, agreed. And Keith, you're not an American citizen, but I feel that you probably would have voted Republican if you were a citizen.
Well, I can tell you who I voted for in the British elections. I voted Reform, which is a relatively new political party. It's not the Conservative Party, which the closest equivalent in the US is the GOP, the Grand Old Party, and I did vote Labour, and the closest equivalent to that is, of course, the Democrats over here. In Canada, I normally vote for the party that is economically has the most sound policies as far as reducing taxation, reducing borrowing, slowing down the swiping of the taxpayer credit card, so to speak. And for a while now, that's been, of course, the Conservative Party of Canada. I mean, that's not really a surprise. But in the US, it would appear that out of the two, GOP tends to have a better handle on how to manage the country's money, the taxpayers' money, and to me that's a winner, because it certainly seems to me that the U.S. I mean, I might not know what I'm talking about here, and I'm not American, so it seems to me that we haven't had Democrats such as JFK for decades. The Democrats of the JFK era is greatly different from what the Democrats appear to be like now. I mean, I'm trying to be diplomatic here, but talking on a purely economic footing, the Democrat Party seems to be a party that doesn't seem to be aware of even how to tackle a family budget, let alone $1 trillion budget. And that to me is killer. It doesn't matter what your policies are. If you keep running the taxpayer credit card to oblivion, that isn't good for the country. But that's all I'm going to say about it.
All right. And Vaughn?
I voted for Trump, and the reason why is like number one, he's decisive, right? I mean, to Calvin's point, like I think we've had enough poor leadership. Like when people talk about toxic masculinity and all that bullshit, like the truth of the matter is, you gotta have somebody that's not afraid to make a decision. Like even if it's, okay, like tariffs. Like I'm gonna go in there and Trump's gonna put the pressure by jacking up all the tariff rates. Well, all he did was he forced change.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're going to make any progress in business, like you have to create a sense of urgency. And at the end of the day, like people may not recognize it, but you have to have a strong economy if you want to be powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And so you got to run it like a business, and you have to make decisions, and you can't worry about pleasing everyone. And again, like the nice guy, like we don't need a nice president. Like I need a badass and making decisions that's kind. He cares about the country and the people and all the citizens that live in it, because we're all dependent on the country doing well. Like you don't want to be part of a shitty company because eventually they can't pay their bills, they can't take care of you, they can't protect you. And it's kind of like A Few Good Men. Like you need me on that wall. You want me on that wall. Like you have to have that type of confidence. Do I agree with everything Trump says and how he says it? No. But dude, I couldn't imagine being president. I mean, the vast majority of the people are not going to be happy with you often. Okay, tough shit. I just got to keep moving. And I think Trump, given the candidates, he was the best one for the best option that we had. And if there was somebody that came in to, next time and was a Democratic that was a stronger leader, I'm less interested in the party as opposed to the individual. Like it's just got to be a strong leader. I mean, period.
I also I also don't like. I also think that there's one issue that takes precedent over all, and it's the most divisive issue, and we all know what it is. It's abortion, and it sway. I mean, particularly women voters. It mobilizes them like nothing else. Like women will fight tooth and nail for the right to murder their own children, and like they'll do stupid shit for that right. They'll bring in millions and millions of Somalians who are like making our public transit just like unsafe. There's Somalians, or just like other random like immigrants and like career criminals that like these Democratic judges are letting out on the streets, and they're stabbing and lighting, our citizens on fire and shit like that. And like there's just like it's almost like if you take out the abortion issue, there's almost nothing that the Democrats do objectively well. And they, like, if you look at every single one of their cities, they're all shitholes. Like you can go from Baltimore to Philadelphia to Los Angeles to San Francisco to New York City to Chicago to Minneapolis. All of the like Democratic ran metropolitan areas are like crime ridden and dangerous, and like the Democrats are like that abusive boyfriend who just keeps on like hurting women, but they keep on going back to them because he really loves me. He just gets angry and stuff like that. And for me, it's I didn't vote. I don't vote. But I absolutely like do not like Kamala, and at her campaign, one person said something totally innocuous. They just said, I think they said something like praise God or like Christ is king, and she said like you're in the wrong, I forget what she said. Like, you're in the wrong place for that or something like that. And basically, like they know what they're doing is like sinister. They know that they're like the party of murder. We saw that this year when they murdered Charlie Kirk for seemingly no good reason whatsoever. Charlie Kirk was a totally harmless guy. All he did was made little liberal trans kids feel stupid, and they like loaded up a sniper rifle and murdered him in front of his wife and children, and like that really opened my eyes to how callous and apathetic most of these like fucking liberals are. Like I thought they were just stupid, but like when I saw how they reacted to a husband and a father being murdered in front of his children, and like a lot of them were celebrating it, a lot of them were like laughing, and like I realized that they're not just stupid and ignorant, they're also like pretty evil too.
Yeah, it's kind of like a narcissistic relationship, the Democrats and its voters.
Yep.
You have the love bombing, then you have the evaluation, and then the Hoover. They bring them back in, back to the love bombing. They cupcake them. Hey, vote for us. We'll do this for you. And then the devaluation. Mm-hmm. Once they brought them back in, it's freaking crazy.
Yep.
Well, you kind of mentioned it earlier, like, you shouldn't be able to change your sex. I mean, like, if you look at the suicide rates.
Holler Knights said, as a barber, I love this show. It is every stage of beard growth.
But if you look at the mental state of, people changing their sexes, or even the mental health, both on the male and female side, when someone makes a choice to abort a baby, like, that's not, it creates a lot of fucked up issues. It shouldn't be even inside the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And that in and of itself is a fucking tragedy. I mean, like, that fucks people up. And then that crushes the family unit of any deal. And if you go back to like the very beginning, if you look at tribes and everything, like, women were supposed to take care of the young, and the men were to go fight, be the warriors, be the providers, and to create a safe container for the family unit, go forth and multiply and basically dominate the land. Like, there's a certain system where that shit works. You start taking pieces and parts of that out of it, and it's not how the system is meant to operate. Whether you're religious or not religious, faith, not faith, like, there's an order to things, and that starts jacking up the order in a major way from the inside out. And I do think, Chris, you mentioned it, it is definitely, there is good and there is evil. And whether people choose to recognize it or not, you're at fucking war every single day. Mm-hmm. From the stuff you put into your brain to the stuff that you allow to happen in your home or not happen in your home, you got to recognize that. And if you don't know the enemy, and if you don't believe you're at war, you're just a pawn, period. You're a puppet.
Yep. Yeah, that's why I like the first installment of me learning thy enemy was reading the Communist Manifesto. I used to, and like
said, yes, mental state is off.
Yeah, yeah, like I used to be a liberal, and there's a saying like if you're young and a Republican, then you don't have a heart. If you're old and Democratic, then you don't have a brain. And like I do think that there's a lot of truth to that. Like the older you get, the more you're interested in conserving and preserving traditional values, because you see.
At Doug Momo said, "I'm not happy is the best excuse for everything."
I'm not happy is the best excuse for everything. Yeah, like people will do anything in the pursuit of happiness, which is a fleeting emotion. Like instead, I think people should do things with the pursuit of goodness and like I really do think that if you took out the woman's vote, Republicans would win 100% of the time. And what does that say? It says that women are emotional. We all know this. And they can be manipulated if you know how to appeal to their emotional nature. You can manipulate women. So what do the Democrats do? They manipulate women. And now this was the first election where the Democrats realized that they need men in order to win elections.
Said, I think even men are starting to be like that.
Yeah.
Not happy is a mental stability. War.
Yeah, men are losing testosterone. Men are losing like masculinity. But yeah, like so now the Democrats hired that one like big fat bitch. I forget her name, but she's like her task is to like get young male voters who are influenced by this like red pill space. They're trying to like flip them, but like it's not so easy. It's not so easy to convert people who are principled and have their like beliefs rooted in reason and logic. It's like it's a lot more difficult to sway us over to their side than it is to sway them over to our side, I think.
Well, hey, we were laughing earlier about makeup and perfume, right? The easiest way, there's so many men in across the country that have idolized women and put them on a pedestal, and are chasing female validation, and it comes from a lack of certainty in who you are as a man, that it's not that hard to sway the male population or a very large part of it in America. You get them to follow what the women say because they want to be the nice guy or they want her attention or whatever it is. And that's really an issue of men not learning how to be men. It's not always, alpha bang on your chest, but there are principles of being a man and a leader that you have to learn. And if you look at the number of men that were raised by women, like that's a problem because the man fucking left because he wasn't a real man. And so like, number one, you're not really losing that much, but then the number of households where the man is showing other young men how to be a true man, and also to show his daughters what it looks like to have a real man leader. That's really important. But the number of families that operate like that, they're getting chopped in half yearly.
So I believe like feminism really started to ramp up. I believe it was like around the mid 50s, early 60s or something like that. When that movement started and really took off and gathered steam, the number of single parent households was 18%. Today, the number in America, the number of single parent households is 72%. So basically, like 3 in 4 families in America are raised by one single, mostly women, like by one single woman. And that's just a recipe for societal collapse, if you ask me. I think it's the biggest problem that we have.
I agree.
Some people have posited that this whole thing about single families becoming a greater and greater proportion of North American households is, but let's just concentrate on the US demographic data. Some people have posited that this is, since the 50s certainly, that this is by design to destroy the nuclear family, to remove powerful males from society, powerful males who are moral, upstanding, willing to do the right thing. Because let's face it, a government that controls people who are, shall we say, shattered into a million pieces are a lot more easy to control than people who are united.
Yep.
So there is people out there who have posited all these alleged long-term plans of certain powerful groups, call it what you will, within government, within society, what have you, that this is done on purpose. And that probably does have some merit. And a lot of this does seem to prove itself over and over again, because there's I don't know who said it first, that the funny thing about conspiracy theories is it's like a spoiler, it's like a preview for a movie. It seems to happen later on. I mean, I'll give an example. I don't know how you gentlemen feel about the perceived war on the motorist, the war on people having freedom of movement, because I think that's more or less a constitutional right. I think somewhere that people, freedom of association, certainly, and freedom to travel where you want, with whoever you want, when you want, and by whichever legal method you wish. But for the last several decades, that seems to be getting encroached upon. We have everything from bike lanes taking up entire sections of road to the thing when you're in traffic and you swear to yourself, I swear that phasing is designed that way just to piss me off, or the red is longer than usual, or this doesn't seem to be right. And all these things niggle at you, and you think you're going crazy about things seem to be getting worse as far as just taking traffic and freedom of movement. But it all seems to be adding together. The other day in my neighborhood, they blocked off two ends of a very long residential street that was a great thoroughfare to avoid a considerable set of lights. And of course, it was blocked off to improve traffic flow. Now, the paranoid in me just makes me think that is just done to piss people off so much that people get out of the cars. I mean, look, I just came back from Los Angeles.
Oh.
Whoever runs the Los Angeles road, they're clearly blind. Because I don't know how they run it over there, but it seems to be designed in a certain way to annoy you so much that you just start using public transit, and maybe that's the idea.
So the Somalian career criminals can stab you and light you on fire on the bus. It's all a grand conspiracy to get that to happen. Real quick, I am just gonna go into another advertisement, guys. So I want to talk about a top dog in the wealth advisory space, Joe Ventura at Eden Advisory Services. Joe's been in the investment business for over 40 years. That's 4 decades of helping everyday folks, whether it be teachers, entrepreneurs, retirees, build their path to financial independence. Whether you've got 5,000 or 5 mil, Joe and his team treat every client like a millionaire. Eden Advisory Services is a registered investment advisor headquartered in New York, but they work with clients across the country. They clear all investment transactions through Charles Schwab, a name millions can trust. From basic budgeting and credit repair to comprehensive wealth management and estate planning, even financial, legal, and insurance strategies, Eden Advisory Services is your one-stop financial partner. Joe Ventura is more than just an advisor. He's your financial guy, all right? Hundreds of people have come to know and trust Joe Ventura's advice with millions of dollars under management. So if you're ready to take that next step, whether it's fixing your credit, planning for retirement, or leaving something behind for your loved ones, start with good faith and let Eden Advisory Services guide the way. Visit EdenASC.com to schedule your free consultation. Eden Advisory Services, LLC is a registered investment advisor in the state of New York. Registration does not imply a certain level of skill or training. Advisory services are only offered to clients or prospective clients where Eden Advisory Services, LLC and its representatives are properly licensed or exempt from licensure. All investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principals. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. This advertisement is for informational purposes only and does not constitute a recommendation or offer to buy or sell any securities. Would you like to continue on your financial path in good faith? Then contact Joe Ventura at Eden Advisory Services, investing in people, not just portfolios. All right, we are back, and so why don't we talk a little bit about like men's style and what like I'll start with you, Calvin, because you look dressed very well. What is that vest called when it's got the like U shape?
I'm not absolutely certain. I actually had this altered to have the U shape because it was actually had the V pattern initially.
Okay.
So, but I'm not sure if it has a specific name. I didn't know it had a specific name.
I'm sure Vaughn could tell us, right?
We'll call it a single-breasted U-shaped vest.
Okay. And what Vaughn, what do you think are like I don't know, like five or so, like a handful of staples that every man should have in their wardrobe?
Well, before we get to that, the most important thing that any dude can do about their wardrobe is proper fit.
Mm-hmm.
Like hands down. Like that is that is the game changer. If you have the choice between quality or fit, and you have to pick one or the other, always go with fit. Period. If I were going to build a wardrobe, every man needs one good suit. You know, whether it's blue, gray, black, you got to have one of those. You know, every man should have one good sport coat that's he can wear with a lot of stuff. I would say one pair of either dark denim or some type of. I hate khakis. Every time I see a dude wearing like a blue blazer and a pair of khakis, I'm like, what are you going to boarding school? Like, what are we doing here? And me and my wife have run jokes like, where are your khakis? Like, I don't know, it just feels like the shitty play, right? So I would say, you know, you got your suit, you got your sport coat, you got denim, you need a couple shirts that fit you really well. And then most guys shit the bed when it comes to shoes and belts. Like, get you know, you don't need the same belt that you had in high school as a grown ass man. Like, update your look and get you some fresh looking shoes. You don't need to wear like the black square toe patent leather 24/7 365. It's like, you know, take care of your shoes.
Mm-hmm. And Keith, what do you think are some staples that men should have, or maybe like overlook in their wardrobe?
Yeah, echo what Vaughn says. There is some easy wins. Staples, if for men just starting out, do not buy a suit because suit becomes expensive because the trouble is with suits is that they have matching trousers. And if the suit becomes discontinued and the trouser becomes discontinued, you can't buy another pair because the trouser is the part that wears out the fastest. So, and as well as that, a good suit you have to spend quite a bit of cash on. So a lot of I'll stick to the staples. I'll try not to go on about style faux pas. For me, every man's first formal piece should be a good quality navy blazer, a nice dark navy blazer, not indigo, not these weird cheap express kind of bright kind of blue blazers. Those are ghastly. Buy yourself a nice classic deep navy blue, buy a blazer, not necessarily patch pockets, it's not as versatile, I think it's a little informal looking. Get yourself a nice good quality 100% wool if preferable blazer from somewhere like Marks and Spencer, which is a UK retailer if you live in Europe. Over here you could go to somewhere like Brooks Brothers, and generally at the back of the shop is the most expensive stuff, the nicest stuff. Ask the man for 100% wool, navy blazer. That's a good starter.
Keith, you're screwing this up. You're supposed to tell him to call me. This is what I do for a living, man. Come
Oh,
on,
yeah,
jeez. Come on,
So-
you're killing it. You're crushing it. But you gotta get the point of contact.
So fly to Vaughn's location and he will.
Oh, hell no! I got an app. I can measure you anywhere in the world.
Oh, yo, fucking promote that shit right now. I'll fucking put it in the show notes. What's your app? What's your app?
Hey, just you check me out at Vaughn Granger on Instagram. I've got an Android and a Apple Store app that'll take 264 measurements, send it to me, all measured by your phone, and then I can curate your style and look from where I'm at, no matter where I'm at.
Okay. So,
everybody download that. So yeah, the navy blazer to start off with.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I know Keith and I, and probably much more me. I'm a cheapskate, so I've never purchased a custom tailored anything. What is like the absolute cheapest tailor-made suit that I could procure?
Well, you would have to define tailor-made because there's a lot of misapprehensions about terminology and tailoring. There's off the peg, so you go to your local department shop. There used to be one in Canada called the Bay, and you'd go in and it's made already, and you put it on. If it fits, it fits. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's off the peg, but literally it's off the peg. Then you have M2M, which is made to measure, or MTM if you insist. This is where you go in and pick on some basic templates. and it's kind of semi-adjusted to you. It's way better than off the peg, and it's a lot more affordable than the third option, which is bespoke and in English tailoring. I am very biased towards the traditional English-British look, so my American colleagues will probably be quite in a lot of disagreement with me as far as some looks are concerned, because the English look is somewhat different from the American look. But bespoke, I mean, the minimum I would spend on a blazer would be $2,400.
Oh, Jesus.
That's what I would. Now that's in Canadian dollars. So in US dollars, that's about 42 cents. But yeah, you can get some really nice 100% wool blazers from somewhere like Marks and Spencer that do ship to the US, or you can get them from Vaughn, I'm sure, that have nice horsehair floating chest pieces. And I would spend minimum 500 US dollars in a blazer. Minimum. So if you can't afford a good blazer, wait till you can, because there's nothing worse than buying one of these polyester abominations. If you can only maybe afford maybe 80% wool, maybe 20% poly for a bit of hard wearing, okay, fine. But try and make sure the majority of it is wool, because nothing flows like wool. Trousers, once you've fixed up your blazer, that does most of the work for you. To be honest with you, Chris, I buy my trousers from Costco. I found a great set of mid-brown trousers from Costco. They were $15. They were called Hager or something. And yeah, they're 100% poly, but everybody's looking at the blazer, they're not looking at your trousers. And the other thing I would spend money on is the shoes, because if you've got nice shoes and a nice blazer and a good quality 100% cotton shirt, the pants you can just cheap out on, and nobody really notices if you're just starting out.
And I've received the criticism, I've received the criticism of like that I always look like I'm a Peaky Blinder when I go out to like nightclubs and stuff like that. So I'm trying to like actually dumb down my look, because like sometimes I will like stick out like a sore thumb. Like sometimes I'll like last night I went into a place and it's
Patrick Mallon said, "Truth be told, Keith wears cargo pants from Costco."
Actually, right now, I'm not wearing anything.
You're pulling the Kevin O'Leary.
Yeah, I'm pulling the. Who was that guy on CNN that was looping the tubing with Jeffrey Tubin? You don't want me to stand up right now.
But like yeah, like sometimes like I'll go out to like nightclubs and I'll be like dressed like this, and like they'll be like, "Why are you so dressed up?" And I do actually want to like start dumbing down my look and stuff like that. What would be your advice? What would all your guys be advice for someone who wants to keep it super simple but still look good?
Well, I don't think you should dumb it down, but let's see what Vaughn and Calvin say.
Now, if you want to dumb it down, in my case, I have this vest, this button up, and some dark denim jeans. So if you just want to basically simplify it, I'll take the vest off.
Oh shit! All right, ladies, keep your pants on, ladies. Calvin's getting undressed now.
Calvin's going to spend time in the gym.
So yeah, just make it simple as that. Just a basic shirt.
Yeah.
Nip it, tuck it. Straight fit jeans, stuff. And then like nice Chelsea boots, black, brown, or your single mud strap, something like this. Black or
Calvin. Yes. Let's go.
So yeah, that's what I got. Just want to dump it down. Button up shirt, jeans, nice pair of shoes, McNaughty's, whatever your flavor is.
Yeah. So if the whole purpose of clothing is for men, right? The same reason you go to the gym. You go to the gym to create the V, right?
Yeah.
And so basically what you want is you want to create a silhouette. So, a collar is meant to shape a guy's face. Lapels, the cut, the tailoring, everything is meant to give you that look of the V. And so some of us, you got the look of the V, and some of us need to create it. So my deal is like almost always you'll see me with a jacket on. The reason why is because most guys don't wear jackets. So as soon as you put on a jacket, even if it's no tie, wood tie, whatever, you're already different. But it's not necessarily like peacocky over the top. Look at me. But then inside of that, you can put a t-shirt on underneath it if you want to. I don't think Keith's a huge fan of that. Again, you want to shape your face. You want to create the broad shoulders, tight waist. So if I were to dumb it down, like with what you got on now, right? Like we'll just use this for example. Like I would lose the tie. I don't like a ton of jewelry personally. I mean, I wear it on my wrist, but like, I'm not going to show it too much on the outside. But then lose the tie, tighten up the vest, get your shirt that's a little less blousy in the sleeves, and then you're good. But like he's got on a patterned shirt today, which is cool. You can add a flare, throw that on with a blue blazer, and all of a sudden it looks really, really nice. Or you can just go straight white shirt like Calvin, super clean, super tailored, and it looks like a fast sports car. So, it depends on what your motive is, right? How flashy do you want to be? How loud do you want to be? And how much perceived effort, do you want people to think that you put into it? So, I always want to look nice, but not too try hard.
Yeah. That's the look that I'm going for as well. And you, Vaughn, have you? I think I saw that did you do like the clothing for the like the what is it, college game day people or something like that?
Yeah, so I thought like I just got back from California working with a Hollywood movie director for a big event he's got coming up next week. I dress pro athletes, TV personalities, top level executives, and the clothing to me is like it's cool, but it's just a tool, right? Like we talk about like guys, we all have our own archetype, who we are, what we're about, and clothes should be an extension of that. If you want to walk in and look like James Bond, that's going to be one look. You want to look like P.T. Blinders, that's going to be a different look. But what character, and I was talking to the movie director about this, he was like, there's a reason why they give out costume design awards like televised and like at the actual, events or whatever. He's like, it's one of the fastest ways for people to get into characters with their costume or for the normal folk, wardrobe. So, I mean, it should be a trigger or an anchor for those personality traits to set in faster.
Yeah, I was going to add on what Vaughn just mentioned about the try hard, and I think we've all seen that out there in the pubs and the clubs and what have you. And I agree with Vaughn in that there is a certain class of for example, the recent Babes in Toyland charity event that some of us just went to. I don't know if Calvin and Vaughn were there. Were you guys there or not? Okay.
No, I didn't get to make that one.
There you go. So you go to these events, and just like Vaughn was touching on, there's a point where, and this is my belief, and some people may disagree with this, but when a man walks into a room, he's at an event or a gala, what have you, if you notice the dress first, then the man, you have failed. You've noticed the man first, then what he's wearing, you're doing correct. The object isn't here to stick out or peacock. It's gauche, it's childish, it's juvenile. There was men on there with sequined suits on, for God's sake, and sequined shoes. And to a British man, I mean, maybe we're very different because we're quite reserved, but to me it's just silly, it's gauche, it's childish. A man's style should be effortless. It should almost look like he's given no thought to it. It shouldn't be overly ostentatious, overly showy, because again, this is maybe a British cultural hangover thing, that this whole look at me thing, I don't think that's a thing that gentlemen should be doing. You should be extremely subtle. It should look like it's not even given much thought to it. But I mean, the Italians might do it a little bit differently with lots of little knickknacks here and there, but I think it's a little too much. But I don't know Calvin and Vaughn think about that, but certainly men's style should be classic and subtle and shouldn't really draw attention to yourself like you're a big flashing beacon.
Calvin, what's your thoughts?
Oh, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, yeah. I'm not sure if this is too peacockish here with the lapel flower and the vest, but
I don't think so.
I like it.
It's fine.
okay.
At least it's not a sequined waistcoat.
Yeah, no, that's outlandish. I agree with you on that. And that
Yeah, thank you. That's the word I was looking for. Outlandish. I think when a man enters a room and you turn and you think, what the hell is he wearing? You've failed somewhere, right?
Yeah. Well, I think, like my goal, anytime I'm getting dressed, when I walk into a room, I want people to turn around and go, who the fuck is that guy? Before I even said a word, they think I'm someone. There's an air of mystery and precision and intentionality that can't help but be recognized. And that for me is what clothes are used for.
Mm-hmm.
It is a frame controller from the rip.
100%. Yeah. Vaughn, you nailed it on the head. It's you give the impression that you actually care about the way you look, not in a vain way, that you have standards, that you have discipline, that you can shave yourself every bloody day, that you can actually iron your own damn trousers, that you can be trusted to press a shirt. All these things that a man should be able to do by the time he's 20.
Yeah. And especially if we're talking like in the game of attraction and seduction, like when you see me, you should assume that I'm financially successful. I spend time in the gym, so I'm disciplined as fuck. And to your point, Gee, I'm going to smell good, I'm going to look good, and you're going to make the assumption that every part of me is a part of me that you would want touching you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 100%. And it's everywhere. It's when the lady looks at the man, she goes, "Oh yeah, okay, who the hell is this guy?" Then thinks, "Well, that's a nice ensemble," but it's unconscious. It's not something that really enters her mind in the top level. And trust me, gents, and I think all of you will agree. For people out there, yes, women do notice shoes. Mm-hmm. Yes, they do notice that you have bought yourself an $80 pair of rubbish. Steve Madden's. Not that all Steve Madden stuff is terrible. Some of it is actually okay if you just want disposable footwear. But you buy yourself a nice $600 handmade pair of English shoes and polish the crap out of them. Yeah, women notice.
Well, and also access, right? I mean, if you walk into a restaurant that has got a wait and you look like what we're discussing, you're going to get a better table faster than someone that looks like they're gonna leave a $5 tip. Like it's a cheat code, and it's not that hard. It's not that complicated. But guys just don't fucking think about it, or either don't. But they also don't think about other shit too. So I mean, I think the guys that care, they either find somebody to help them do it, or they learn how to do it. One of the two.
Exactly.
And the guys that don't, they're oblivious to the game anyway.
Oblivious. That's the word I was looking for. And like you said, on the forums that we inhabit, I'm not going to mention which ones they are, but we all know which ones they are. I will have continual arguments with some of the other network lads that I think they're so completely wrong that they don't seem to get that certain venues have certain levels of formality. And just like you mentioned, when you go somewhere and you're dressed like you've got it together, you're dressed that you know how to press a pair of trousers and you know how to button up a shirt and whatnot. They argue with me until they're blue in the face. Oh, well, I'm just going to go in with a hoodie and a torn pair of jeans. And I'm like, no, you don't get it. Certain venues have certain levels of formality. You don't walk into a 5-star Marriott with a hoodie or football colours on and a pair of Crocs. I'm sorry, you just don't. Maybe that's just me, but I don't know what you guys think of that.
Well, Crocs are the worst.
Tell Henry that.
Yeah, but it's just a matter of like just giving the shit how you look. But to agree with you guys, just kind of piggyback on you guys. I like going in the store and see having people look at me and hell even mistake me for the manager. Say, hey sir, do you know I can find this department? I was like, no, well, I don't know, I don't work here.
Yeah.
So.
And the sad thing, Calvin, Vaughn, the sad thing is only some decades ago, every man was dressing like this. So what the hell happened to the U.S. society? And us British, we don't get off scot-free either. Back in maybe the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, we all dressed like we didn't want to impress, but certainly we had a pride in our appearance. We didn't go out like we were dragged through a hedge backwards. We didn't go to the Walmart or the local shop dressed in pajamas. What the hell happened?
I also, and like speaking about access and being like able to get into certain places, I noticed I went out last night looking like this, and the bouncer, like gave me one look, and he was like, "Oh shit!" Like he like paid me a compliment. He said like, "You look fresh and shit." And I gave him my ID, and then I walked into the bar, and then I was paying attention, and I saw that everybody else who walked into the bar after me, he was patting down for a weapon.
Allen said, seductive wardrobe applies from romance to business and establishes your brand.
Yeah. He was patting everybody else down for a weapon. So like I could have like if I walked around strapped, which I don't, but like I could have like snuck in a weapon to the bar, just based on catching people off guard, like they tend to just kind of like let you slide more when you're like dressed for the occasion,
I think it's not even that. It's sorry to interrupt, Vaughn. It's not even that. I believe it's more. You don't have to look like a tailor's dummy. You don't need to look like a stuffed shirt lecturer. It's about that you respect yourself enough to dress neatly, to know that you can lay your clothes out the previous night, that you own a bloody iron, that you own a steamer, that you know what colors go together and what not go together, that you have. And I think it radiates discipline and organization. And I think we're not necessarily talking about looking like something out of a Henry Poole and Company shop window. I think it just radiates competence, it radiates discipline, and it radiates an ability to get your poop in a group. So I don't know what you guys think of that.
It communicates, to your point, Keith. Again, like let's just take it to the game of male and female, right? What it's saying without you having to say it is I've got intellect, which apparently is a rare commodity or resource today. Like I have the know-how, I have the knowledge, I have the discipline, I take action because if I didn't do those things, I wouldn't show up to dress the way that I am. And so it self-communicates, which is and stirs certain emotions inside of females, but also in the world of business. It also says, if I show up and I'm fat and I'm overweight and I'm sloppy, like I can't manage your fucking money. Like I don't have attention to detail. I don't have the discipline necessary. I'm not organized, whatever it is. Like it just says a lot without you having to say it. So it's basically, they're creating the validation for you without you saying, well, this is what you need to know about me. It just shows, which is powerful, especially in today's time. Fuck. Most of the guys don't take any action. They said, they're living with their mom or their grandmother playing video games in the basement. And it's like, no, I'm a capable human being. And now all of a sudden, because they're, to your point, Keith, most people are just not fucking doing it anymore. Now all of a sudden, you're not really competing with a lot of people. Like the pool of people that you're competing with became a lot smaller, and you're more sold out. And there's just not a lot of dudes walking around there that have their shit together.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely true. All that is definitely true. And to quote the great Deion Sanders, when you look good, you play good. When you play good, they pay good. And that's how it is. I really believe that. So I'm just gonna do one more advertisement, then we're gonna like wrap up real quick. So let me. And if anybody who owns any small businesses is interested in advertisement on the Good Faith Podcast, I have the most competitive rates for advertising space in the industry. So just keep that in mind. So guys and gals, I don't think it's any mystery, speaking of which, that I take my physique and my appearance very seriously. I'm buckling down. I'm taking it more seriously than ever. I stopped drinking soda. I stopped eating ice cream, and those were like two of my favorite fucking, like, between soda, ice cream, and fried chicken. That's like my favorite shit to eat. I don't eat that shit anymore. Does it taste amazing? Yes, but it is not good for my physique. So I cut it all out. I'm just having like boiled chicken and rice, like, rice and beans, working on muscles in my body I never prioritized before. If I'm doing a push exercise, I'm doing a pull exercise, so I have balance to my body. Like I'm working on fat burning, cardiovascular health, just trying to I'm trying to put on weight, but trying to put on muscle and burn fat. I used to just eat whatever I wanted and try to outwork a poor diet, and that's not how it works. Like, abs are made in the kitchen, not in the gym. So there are still times when I gotta force myself to eat, but I don't need any coercion to eat Holler Boys beef jerky. You can't just stuff empty calories down your big fat fucking blowhole. Here's the solution. Holler Boys beef jerky. They pack 10 grams of lean protein in a fantastic package, and the flavors are to die for. Peach bourbon, honey habanero, southern barbecue, Chesapeake Fuego, or the tried and true original. My favorite is the peach bourbon, but like, as you can see, I'm a little bit sweet and zesty. So what's even better about Holler Boys is they're nice and local and tax-friendly Middletown, Delaware. They're founded by a father-son duo. They just started tinkering with their smoker in the backyard one day, and through trial and failure have come to present some of the boldest and most memorable flavors I can recall. Forget Slim Jim or Jack Links or Deets Nuts. Holler Boys Snacks packs a great nutritional value in a filling serving size for an affordable price to stretch your dollar with flavor for days that'll make you holler. Their mission statement rings true to the Good Faith podcast that life may throw you around, but you can never give up. How true. Scan the QR code on the screen and find their link in the description to tap into the best beef jerky on the market. HollerBoysJerky.com. That's holler with an A. Holler Boys Jerky, the only good jerk. And guys, make sure that you make this holidays a holler day. And I got a holler soundbite. All right, and we are back. So to just like wrap up, do you guys have any like closing remarks about anything, about what we talked about anything in the anything at all? You got any closing remarks or criticisms?
No, not at this moment. I just recommend to all my men out there, don't look like a bag of ass. Just put some evidence to what you're wearing.
A bag of ass. I've never heard that.
You ate her ass.
Yeah, it's an old Navy phrase.
That's a funny one.
I like that one. We've been talking about clothes, and I dress men for a living, and guys get dressed for one of two reasons. Either they dress to hide something, or they're dressing to reflect what's going on the inside. One of the two. And to that point, I think one of the easiest places, or most simple place to start with all this, is with your body. And if you're working out, you take care of yourself, you're training well, that creates the canvas for everything else. And if you can force yourself to go to the gym and control what you put in your damn mouth, and put yourself into discomfort intentionally, everything else will start to shift around that. And I think that if I were really going to give advice to another man, learn to train and eat, and then everything else will follow suit. Because inside of that, the mental skills, the ability to do well under pressure, and have the courage to go into something that you know is going to suck and still fucking do it anyway. That's where I would start.
Yeah, I'm framing this decade, like my 30s. I've chosen to frame it as the decade of sacrifice, and I've gotten really good at embracing like suffering. And it sounds like to the spectator, it probably sounds like miserable, but I'm actually like, I kind of enjoy suffering sometimes. You know, I enjoy like going through something that is a miserable experience and just thinking to myself like, this would make most men quit, and like it's not gonna make me quit. So I actually like I like suffering. Maybe I'm a masochist.
Yeah, I apply it to working out. Every morning I'll do my calisthenics and then wrap it up. I'll throw on my 20-pound vest, go on the treadmill, set it up to 10 as far as incline.
Yeah, yeah.
Do that for about at least 10 minutes. So yeah. So when I take that vest off, it's it's a lot. It feels a lot more easy, and there's this feeling of like accomplishment. So okay, I can handle 20 pounds. Maybe I throw on extra 10 pounds, 30 pounds, vest.
Any of you guys do any combat, like any martial arts or any kind of combat sports?
I was a wrestler in middle school and high school. I did karate, but yeah, when I was drinking and doing drugs, I got into a lot of like street fights. But I haven't been in a fight in like 5 or 6 years.
Well, no martial arts for me, but I would like to get into Taekwondo. That looks like a pretty cool, martial art.
How about you, Keith?
Well, Chris mentioned abuse and suffering, which is an interesting subject, and there was a masochist and a sadist getting it on, right? And the masochist said, "Beat me, whip me, humiliate me, use me, hit me, do whatever you want with me." And the sadist said, "No."
Keith, do you ever watch Rick and Morty?
I've seen it, and it's quite a surreal cartoon.
I think you'd love it. And there's this one episode where they go to like sadism or masochism universe, where all the people are like these like satanic demons, and they get off on like suffering and misery and stuff like that. So Jerry, who's like this like just like the he's just like the he's like the butt of every joke, just this like miserable little like cuck of a man, and like so they love hanging out with Jerry because everywhere Jerry goes there's just like torture and misery. It's really funny.
They visit all these places full of torture and misery and
Yeah.
these strange premises, and that's funny because whenever sadists and masochists get their equipment delivered to their homes, there's usually labels on it, and it says "for use only in the discomfort of your own home." But what else did you mention? If there was, if we could just distill one piece of style advice to men, because like I like to say, fashion is for women, children, and shall we say, men who sit on the other side of the boat. Style is for men. If we all had to distill it down to one sentence or one thing, if you're in a hurry, I don't know what that would be for each of us. If you just had 10 seconds to talk to somebody, mine would be stop wearing clothing with large, outsized, or considerably visible logos. Men, please stop doing that.
Yeah, I did a little bit ago. I used to just only wear football jerseys and like baggy jeans and khakis. We were talking shit on khakis. I used to just wear like Dickies, Dickies hanging around my ass, and like a big ass Eagles jersey or something like that, and like a hat. Like I would always have like a sideways hat looking like B-Rad and shit like that. Now the only logo that I'll wear is like NASA. I have a couple like NASA t-shirts. That's the only logo I'll wear now.
Yeah. Aside from fit, which Vaughn mentioned earlier, which is a killer 5-second piece of advice if you've only got 5 seconds before you leave. What would Calvin's one-liner style sentence be if you only give one thing?
I would say, men,
Yeah.
know your sizes. Get your sizes. Go to a men's, male boutique shop. Get your damn sizes. Measure your chest, waist. I I can't tell you how many men I met who didn't know their sizes. It's just weird to me.
So, and Vaughn, as far as your like one sentence that maybe can cover as much as possible in a small amount of words as possible, which is why I chose stop wearing big logos, because it seems to do a lot of damage mitigation in one sentence. What would yours be?
My personal rule: never go outside without a jacket on.
Good one.
Okay.
Now, is that a straight jacket for the ladies and a normal jacket for the men?
Either way.
Say what you like. It gives you a nice hug.
It does. I love it.
What should I do if I personally hate jackets? Like, I know that's like fucking sacrilegious to talk about on this episode, but I don't like suit jackets. What should
I would challenge you and say that's probably because you never bought a nice one.
Yeah.
That fits you well.
I'd agree with that.
Okay.
Because if you buy a 100% wool Super 130s one made by something like Marks and Spencer just for an off the peg, or like a super inexpensive one from Savile Row that's off the peg, they fit like gloves and they flow like butter.
Yeah. They're not uncomfortable if they're made well.
Okay.
I agree.
All right. Well, I think I'm gonna contact you after this episode, and maybe I'll invest in a fucking a nice jacket or something like that.
I'm on over to the dark side, baby.
All right. And now, so guys, I'm gonna leave you with a couple of homework assignments. So, I'm trying to grow this channel organically. I'm asking you guys to each promote the ever living fuck out of this shit. You know, send it to your aunt, send it to your cousin, send it to your uncle or your father or mother or wife or whoever you want. And if you have any suggestions as to a guest that I could bring on, I will make the little addition that 5-foot tan brunettes with perky B cups and big doughy brown eyes never hurt ratings. So I'm just saying, if you know any of those, send them my way. And we'll close with this topic that I call 3 truths. So I got this from Lewis Howe's podcast. So I hope that you guys all live long, long lives. I hope whatever age that you want to die at, whether it's 100 or 90, or some people don't want to live long, which I don't really understand. But let's say you die at whatever old age that you want to, and you've completed every endeavor that you've ever hoped for. You made all the money that you could ever want to make. You die in the loving arms of your spouse and your family's all around you, and you go out with no pain and everything's great. But when you leave, all evidence of you ever existing goes away. So every text message that you ever sent a loved one disappears with you. Every Reddit post and Facebook post, every picture that you've ever taken goes away with you. All evidence of you ever existing goes with you. But you're each allowed to leave one truth, one thing that will be etched in the tablets of all eternity. What would be your one departing message that you want to leave to the world?
Now, can we say the SH word?
SH, was shit or?
No, harassment.
Oh, you can say sexual harassment, yeah.
Okay, all right. This is what I will leave. Sexual harassment is subjective.
Yeah, facts. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, I always say, when a woman is crying, a woman is lying. So don't believe shit that these bitches say. I mean that. Don't believe them.
One truth. Keith, you got yours?
One truth. Is this a truth, say, one could have transcribed somewhere.
Yeah, like on a gravestone or something like that. Like this goes on your monument to
Okay.
the world.
And then the gravestone would be the inscription, "I told you I was sick."
That's facts.
Live a life where people you never met will thank you for what you did.
Okay. All right, and I guess my truth would just be that yeah, like we said in this episode, you become a slave to your material possessions, and nobody is on their deathbed saying, "Man, I really wish I would have maximized shareholder value better, you know, like I could have been a better employee." Like people oftentimes go to the grave regretting not taking that chance, not taking that risk, not saying hello to that hot girl on the bus, or you know, not yeah, like so. I'm just gonna say, like, take risks and make the most of your time with other human beings, because life is precious and you never know when it's gonna end.
Yeah, Chris, there's no need to be sorry on the way out, because let's face it, in the English language, there's two ways to say "I'm sorry," which is "I'm sorry" and "I
Edward
apologize."
Mellon said, "Good show, guys. Thanks."
So there's two phrases. There's no need to be sorry on the way out. There's obviously "I'm sorry" in the English language, and there's "I apologize," which has the same meaning in the English language, except when you're at a funeral.
Yeah. You wanna
That was a joke.
wait, okay. I think it went over my head.
Because if you're saying you apologize, you're
No,
admitting.
yeah, gotcha.
Oh, these Americans, jeez.
You know what's the ultimate revenge? You go to someone's funeral and you pay like a super flamboyant gay guy to like cry really audibly loud at it.
That's fucked. That's awesome.
All right, well,
Yeah, but the thing is, Chris, though, I don't know if any of you guys are afraid of death, talking about death. You were talking about the one thing you can leave behind. I'm not afraid of death. I just don't want to be there when it happens.
yeah.
There you go. That one did not go over my head.
Charlie Munger, the late great Charlie Munger, lived to be 99. He said, "Show me where I die, so I never go there." Kind of like paradoxical, you know.
I got me and my buddy, we got a thing. It's like, but what if it works out? Like, you think about all the shit that people don't do because they're afraid it won't work out.
Yeah.
And I think about all the really cool shit in my life. It's like, but what if it does? Fuck it. Full send.
Yeah.
I'll either die or I'm gonna win. One of the two.
Yeah, like
Everything I do is based off of that premise. I'll either fucking figure it out and win, or I'll die. One of the two.
Everything in your life is either a blessing or a lesson. You know, so
Fuck yeah.
you can't lose that way. You're either gonna learn a lesson, or you're gonna be blessed with fortune. You know.
That makes sense.
Anthropological Charge said, bestviewerstreamboot.com.
Yo, what the fuck?
Remove the space. Add 5Z9SPQ lie.
Shut the fuck up.
Quit spamming.
All right. Well, guys, I want to extend my sincere gratitude with you all. This was a great episode. I look forward to talking with all of you in the future. Let me know. I'm always available. Like, reach out to me if you ever want to talk. And now I'm gonna go into my outro, but I wanted to first thank you all for taking the last 2 hours to join me tonight.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Peace.
At Doug Momo said, thank you.
Yo, thank you, Doug. I think you're a new guy, so thank you for joining me. So, guys, I'm gonna announce my next scheduled episode, which is When's my next episode? Next episode is once again. I need to cut down on the sexism, but I have a woman scheduled for Friday, and I don't trust women. I don't trust women to tell the truth. I'm sorry. Call me cynical, whatever, but I think there's like a snowball's chance in hell that she actually is of her word. But Friday at 7, there's an episode scheduled, so I'll be ready. But I will not be surprised if she dips out and no calls, no shows. Guys, if you want to just be alerted every time that I go live, you can just turn on the notification bell, and it'll just give you a little notification whenever I'm live. Once again, I want to humbly thank our listeners and pay them ample gratitude for their patronage. Without you guys, we wouldn't be able to have such a high quality interactive show. So thank you, audience. I'd like to take this time to remind all you guys that we're spreading like a virus. The Good Faith Podcast is now on YouTube Live and Twitch Live, as well as on Apple Podcasts, Pandora, Spotify, RSS.com, Amazon Music, Samsung Podcasts, Listen Notes, iHeartRadio, and Patreon. On Patreon, we're working to build additional value for the multiple tiers of donors with special content, super chat priority, and VIP in-person meetings. We do value your attention, so thank you for quieting your TikTok brain for the last 2 hours.
Thank you for making this that much sweeter. Hey.
This is a reminder, if you feel you got any value from our show, it takes basically 0 extra work to like and subscribe. It'll move us closer to our goal of having thousands of subscribers, which will bump us up in the algorithm, expose us to more potential listeners. If you guys want to share us with more of your friends, we would be absolutely delighted to extend our outreach. The quickest way for us to broaden our exposure is for you listeners to each share us with one friend. And guys, if you really want to get into the festive spirit, if you really want to be like like Ebenezer Scrooge after he had his spiritual awakening, and you want to be like generous, gift them a Good Faith subscription. Like they'll cherish it. You could really do some good, and you could really be the Buddy the Elf or whatever, whoever like a hero of Christmas time is. You could be that hero of Christmas time if you gift a subscription to the Good Faith Podcast to one of your loved ones. If you live in the greater Philadelphia area, you want to guest star on the show, please reach me in an Instagram DM at Christopher Bulick. The Patreon link's in the description. All proceeds will go towards rent, food, electricity, new computer equipment to improve the general show quality, and Clark's medical expenses. Clark has epilepsy. If I don't give him phenobarbital 2 times a day, he will seize up and perish. And if that happens, and you didn't give me money, then his blood will be on your hands, and you'd be a fucking Grinch. So give me money.
I ain't trying to screw you. You ain't give me no money. What am I getting out of this? Nothing. So why do I have to lie?
To all of our faithful audience, we wish you a merry and bright December, a happy and healthy lifestyle, and to all of you, we bid you goodbye.